Hey, look, I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s while they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Trying to build my own city, homie. Enough room to put my niggas on it. Just start a couple business on it. Fuck any heathen never shitted on me. Yeah. Public housing we done lived through. Trying to put that in my rear view. Gold roads, what I still do. I can see the picture with a clear view. Gotta separate the snakes. And all you fuck niggas that's gon' hate. Daily pray to God don't catch another case. But that's a small risk that I feel I gotta take. Only certain niggas, they gon' feel this. Still deliver verses on that real shit. If I get a couple million, I'ma bust this shit down with these children. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s while they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Don't get up out of bounds, homie. Got killers with them rounds on them. Look like I'm fed it from the drum. Look, don't make me make the reaper rain down on them. I can give a fuck if you rock blue. And I was Sue Whoop from the Fruittown crew. Cops still shoot us every time we move. They hate you, nigga, like they hate me too. Just know that brotherhood is a weapon. Build another zone, get protected. Too many sisters in the city been molested. Now I'm stacking soldiers off the block like it's Tetris. Woo! Know that truth, it give you chills, don't it? Steady ringing in your ears, won't it? If I'm blessed to make a meal, I'ma bust that shit down with my real homies. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s while they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Yeah. To all them children that grew up with parents strung out on drugs. Yeah. I just wanna bow. Hope you do too. And I hope you do too. Yeah. Man, to the brother that had a real and she left him for whatever reason. Yeah. I just wanna bow. I hope you do too. And to the sister, you know what I'm saying, that had that nigga leave him. Yeah. Nigga, I just wanna bow. To my niggas that's locked up. I hope you do too. Man, I hope you niggas see the light of day. Yeah, I just wanna bow. Yeah, I just wanna bow.
Young, I don't make this beat.
Yeah, you already know what time it is, you understand? UPK, One West of the Command Junior High to all my brothers, we rolling through, you understand? Cause these niggas weak, these niggas don't know what to do. You see these soldiers.
Outside, you in the crib, but the boy outside, I get it on outside. From the dust to the dawn outside, so in the morning outside, I'm catching wreck when they drawing outside. Cause it's a war outside, my sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, your bladder be all outside. Cause it's a war outside, I get it on outside. You in the crib, but the boy outside, I get it on outside. And that's a definite, cannonball wrecking shit, excellent. Rhyme Barack and bombing like the president. I remain strong, King Kong with the prevalence. I show you exactly what we do, that's how I represent. Hardcore, heaven sent, chain on, hella bent. Throwing all black when they spot me like the leopard print. Oh, I got the braids in, shades on, made men. Cause we put in work to stop the earth until it caves in. Walk strong, talk heavy, hold my own. You rock solid when we bout to leave the sword, the stone. Nigga, we warriors, hardcore, tracking the pride. And let the Hebrew speak, nigga, general eyes. And we talking super heavy, nigga, that's the surprise. With all scripture, street talk, word to Captain the Kai. Nigga, we blazing, ripping the mic with all facts, doing the knowledge to the max. Till we spring forward and they falling like it's autumn, nigga. Talking to all them niggas born in the mud. If you ain't feeling this, your cord unplugged, and that's real. Oh, I get it, cat tie, war, they not of our kind. I get the order, then it's handle kind, not the one kind. Without a doubt in my mind, I'm finna stop and recline. Anybody that come against us, they should probably resign. Cause it's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. I hear these niggas throwing shots, but can they take some? Christ says, sell out your garments to get a sword now. I'ma go and sell off these polos to get a 4 pound. Damn sure ain't started the war, but I'ma end it. Cause the spiritual war could turn carnal any minute. I remember riding back in the days, window was tinted. But Salaki, I'm done with that carnal shit, I repented. And they bomb-proof the booth every time I'm about to go win it. You ain't know this shit, I live for this truth and I'ma defend it. And I get my second wind just as soon these niggas get winded. It's a war going on outside, I'm jumping in it. It's a war going on outside, you in the crib, but the ball outside, I get it on outside. From the dust to the dawn outside, so in the morning outside, I'm catching wreck when they drawn outside. Cause it's a war outside, my sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, you better be all outside. Cause it's a war outside, I get it on outside. You in the crib, but the ball outside, I get it on outside.
Nobody safe, it's a war out here. If you pussy in the streets, you a whore out here. See me all suited up in my fallout gear. 762, flip your fucking car out here. No burner, I still break your jaw out here. No fear, if you scared, get a motherfucking pit. Or sit up in the church, you a motherfucking bitch. I give you in the verse what I give you in a clip. It's 32 rounds of fire, it never quit. A lot of fuckery going down, so what's the purpose? Sick of hanging around these clowns, get out the circus. If you cross that line, then you get lit up. The worst is all black hearses, tinted with black curtains. Docs on site with medics and mad nurses. Leave us out your verses. You don't want that kind of war, ready for that bullshit. Kinda like a matador. Get this kind of focus, you gon' need some Adderall. Something just to lock you in behind them padded walls. They say I got some screws loose, and that's true too. Don't let me let them wolves through like it's a full moon. It's like I transform the booth to a war room. Come up with a strategy, maximizing your casualties. Courage of King David, battling like the Maccabees. Find out who you think that nigga, walk to him casually. Then proceed to bar his life away rapidly. Take a knee for your majesty, take it they hate it savagely. I try leaving rap alone, but I guess that this had to be. Keep you grounded like gravity, in the ville, but it's amity. Horror, I seen calamity, scar you up for my family. Mumble rappers be mad at me, fuck them up in they faculty. They
Shalom Israel. This is ISUPK. I'm Officer Kazak Shapar out of South Carolina. Here teaching the LASHAWAN QADASAH class. We're the ISUPK, start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commanding General Yohana, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, makeup, and R&B, the 12 tribe of Israel. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. In fact, if you're not in ISUPK, you're not in the truth. You're wasting your time. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, get in this truth. Find out where you are. Find out who you are. Tonight's class, we got a little kind of interesting. We're going to talk about stolen goods, how they stole the vessels of the temple, who stole them. We don't get in too much depth, but we're just going to start to teach a little bit about the number. We're going to kind of, the number of the of the goods that they've taken. We're going to use LASHAWAN QADASAH and talk about how to count and understand how much they took from us. They took, first of all, they took us. Then they took our goods out of the temple. And that's what we hear. And we teach in ISUPK that you're black. If you're black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, you know, we use the King James Version of the Bible. In this particular book that I got a few years ago, this one has the Apocrypha already written in it. We only teach out of the King James Version of the Bible because it's the only authorized version in which you should teach. And before the Catholic Church took out the Apocrypha, this, let's see, here it is right here, see? The Apocrypha, right there. Oops. If you can see it. This Apocrypha was in this Bible. It's a 1611 King James Version. That's the book that we use. If you're using another book, you know, you might as well get rid of it. Use it for some other burn use or whatever. But we find a 1611 or a version of the King James Version of the Bible. Authentic, not a replica, not New King James Version, the King James Version of the Bible. King James was a brother. He was one of us. And he he translated and this language that we can, so that we can go and teach other people out of the King James Version of the Bible. Now you can use also an Apocrypha to go along with the other version of the Bible that you use. And here we teach people about, in LASHAWAN QADASAH, we teach you who you are. We teach you where you come from. LASHAWAN, the language of our people. LASHAWAN is tongue. While we wait for people to check in, I kind of like to start just a couple minutes early because I want to make sure we get all the information in. LASHAWAN QADASAH. That's means holy language. You write Hebrew from right to left. It's holy tongue, I'm sorry. Holy tongue. LASHAWAN means tongue. Language is another word. QADASAH, LASHAWAN. We may write it from left to right because we're in English. But it's actually, when you get in Hebrew, it's actually written from right to left. Like right here, LASHAWAN. LASHAWAN. Now we have, here it is again. That's QADASAH, and this is LASHAWAN. So, in Hebrew, we have two understandings because we were in captivity. And we're going to talk a little bit about that when we were in captivity in Persia and also in Babylon also. Them the rascals, the evil people that took away our heritage from us. I mean, you know, they stole us, stole our, you might as well say they took our words. We did, they took our vessels, took our word, and we did a lot of rebuilding since then out of the Bible. But the most thing that we're going to talk about is Ezra and Exodus, Jeremiah, Daniel, what do you say? Because Daniel was in captivity in Babylon. Also, he witnessed the stealing of the vessels. Jeremiah understood the stealing of the vessels. So, that were taken out of Jerusalem. Let's see. So that's what we the class that we'll talk a little bit about. It's locked for a second. We'll talk a little bit. Okay, good. We'll talk a little bit of. Okay. We'll talk a little bit about the vessels and how they were stolen. Okay. So let me make some adjustments here. Okay, there we go. Good. All right. We'll talk a little bit about the language and where it came from because we teach LASHAWAN QADASAH in Paleo. And we also teach it in Assyrian. Paleo and Assyrian. Okay. okay? And it's just so happened to be tonight's class we'll talk about in Babylon and Assyria, the Medes and the Persians. We're going to talk about the king of Persia. We'll talk about Nebuchadnezzar a little bit. These are the people that did some things against us. Of course, all the nations did things against us. We'll talk about a little bit. Where's our gold, man? Like this gold chain I got right here. Right there. Where are our knives and forks? Where's our silver? I mean, they carried out of Jerusalem basins, baskets, baths, oh man, chargers, and so many vessels out of there. I think it was over 5,000 or so. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, out of what we had stolen from us. But here in LASHAWAN QADASAH class, we'll we get into some of this. We get into a lot of the understanding of the breakdown of the words that were used back then. Like King Cyrus, King of Persia, Nebuchadnezzar, and what happened. So as we, you guys get in class, make sure you get your name down. The young troopers and the young sisters, if you want to get in class. If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, you're welcome to join our class and to get your name so you can be part of the ISUPK. We started off in 1969. The Spirit of the Most High put on us, Commander General Han and all the generals and all of the teachers, and brought it all the way down to somebody simple like me. Somebody off the street, somebody that want to understand our language. So there's no excuse not to be an ISUPK. This is part of the breakdown. That's who we are. We're part of the 12 tribes of Israel. We talked about that, I think, a little bit last week. We'll get into the number system a little bit more this week because we're going to name a lot of the vessels and a lot of things that we did. We're going to break it down how much money they stole from us. But this class is mostly entitled Stolen Goods. Stolen goods, stolen vessels, where they come from, how all this stuff come about, But like I said, LASHAWAN QADASAH is important to know that we were in captivity. And our language has been altered some in Assyria. A lot. But Paleo is still intact. So I like to keep up with the Paleo and the Assyrian. The ISUPK taught us to keep up with both of these. Right here, what you see right here, this word right here is written in Assyrian. That language we had in captivity while we were under King Cyrus, under King Nebuchadnezzar. The Syrians, all of those people, they took our characters, which is this. You can see this. QADASAH. And made it their characters. This QADASAH. They took this Q, Qua, and they made it look like that. But the sound's the same. Now you find those, let me finish. They took this D and made it look like that D. Still sounds the same, da. They took this W looking thing right here, and it's actually a shop. Okay, a shop. And they look like that. But in actuality, it's really the holy language, or the holy tongue. QADASAH, holy tongue. So we call it LASHAWAN QADASAH. And you'll find also that the fake Yiddish Jews over there now, I was looking in I'm always studying about them. They took, got some people checking in the class and more people checking in. They took our language, our tongue, and they made it sound Yiddish. Why? Because they really can't speak LASHAWAN, Ba, Gada, Hawa, Zaka, Taya Kalamana, Sa, Apata, Zakwara, Shapa. They can't say that. And then it comes from right here. What you see in red right here, that's our language. That's us. I kind of got it down over here to use it as reference sometime. Let's see who's checking in class. We have Shar, all right. Officer Shar, one of our LASHAWAN QADASAH teachers. You know, Officer Shar, we got him in class. We got a few other sisters and brothers. They took our language and said, the hell with us, but that's okay. The Most High kept it intact. We keep our paleo. We keep our Syrian. In other words, before I get into class, we'll get a little bit into it right here. You know, say like right here. Like in other words, we say something like this. Ah. That's what the paleo symbol is for ah. You see? Now over here, in the Assyrian, they took the same thing and made it look like this. Like that. They kept ah, but the fake Yiddish people, they'll go there and put a couple dots under there, some hellacious stuff under there. Because they don't say ah, they say ah. Something crazy. Because they can't and won't, either can or won't, I think it's can't. They can't pronounce our words, so they speak a whole other language. They speak German. We talked about that class, I think it was a couple weeks ago, because we were off last week for a few modifications. It's lucky. And they can't speak our language. So this symbol here, ah, they have to say ah. They use what the Assyrians kept us in captivity right here. They use this and say ash. But it's actually ah. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a note. You know, we'll just go down this a little bit before we get into the stolen vessels here in class. They use, we'll just go down the line here because we don't want people to get too confused. Ba is another one. They used, we'll break it down like this. The paleo looks like that. Sort of like that. Okay? The Syrian on that will look like this. And they also, well, I'll get into that in a second here. I just want to do until we get going and break down class a little further. I just want to go over the characters. These are the characters. So you call them alphabet, but we're going to break down a little bit of class before we get into the stolen vessels that King Cyrus and Nebuchadnezzar took from our temple. We're just going to go over, so people that just joined the class, we want to go over the symbols. What that means. That is a B in our language. Ba. Not ba. And they would use a symbol looking like this in the Yiddish over there. The fake Jews over there, you know, you find that in Revelation, I believe it's 2 and 9. You know, let's go there. Let's go there real quick. Let's go to Revelation 2 and 9. Let's find out let's just go there with me. Walk with me for a second. Let's go there what these fake people are using stuff like this. Let's just go there. So now let's take the time to go there. Since we got a little time, I want to start just a little early, like I said. Let's go to Revelation 2, I believe it's 9. There it is, right here. Well, let's go to 8. The angel of Revelation 2 and 9, we're talking about how the fake Jews got over there and started taking over our language. They took it over years before the 1948 Balfour Declaration of the Yiddish people getting over there and changing it. But way back in King Cyrus, they changed it to look like this. Nebuchadnezzar, they changed it to look like this, what the Syrians did. That's who they are. They're thieves. Then the white people, which are Esau, he came and doctored it up some more until, we don't hardly know our language. If it wasn't for Commander General Yohana teaching us in the ISUPK, we wouldn't even know who we are. we wouldn't even know who we are. Let's check it out before I get here. Let's see what else we have in class here. Sharabana, all right. Sharab's a consistent student. Very good, sis. I'll write your name down here. Sharab. Okay. Yeah. And like I was saying, when they use these dots, stuff like that, this is their way of saying, oh, okay, this is how it sounds. Well, let's go to the angel of the Lord with Revelation 2:9. 2:8. An angel of the church in Smyrna write these things first and last, which was dead and is alive. I know thy works and tribulation and the poverty. See, we had tribulation. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. When you steal our goods and vessels and still us, you can't be more tribulation than that. That's why the Most High is coming back to salvage blacks, Hispanics, and Natives. Another class. Salvation is another class. We'll talk about what they did to us, what they stole from us, okay? I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Now, they've got a stark contrast. I'm saying things stolen from us. We're rich, though. Not only are we rich in our language, we're rich in our knowledge, we're rich in all of the Most High. He owns the cattle above 1,000 hills. It's us who he's going to restore the kingdom back to. So we're rich. We don't even know it. But this right here, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy, the blasphemy of the people who did this. This language right here. The blasphemy of these symbols, the blasphemy of the people who put this Yiddish down here. Them are white people. Them are Esau. Those are Edomites. They did this. They doctored it up, doctored the symbols from Babylon and Cyrus, Persia, and said, I'll make it sound like this. 1948 Balfour Declaration, because I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll just say, those are the Jews. So this Ba, instead of it looking like this, we're going to make it. We're going to adopt what the Syrians took. They didn't adopt this. So that will give us away. Then they know who was in. By the way, we can't pronounce Ba, so we say bah. like a sheep. Bah, like that. All kinds of foolishness, because if they were to pronounce our language correctly, we would know who we are. We would know who our symbols are. Like the people. They did all the precautions they did to make sure that we ain't the people of the Bible. But the Bible says this right here. The Most High says, but thou art rich. And I know, and it says, I know thy works of tribulation and poverty. Who else is in poverty in the United States right now? The blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. I don't know on this earth. Earth given to the hand of the wicked, Job 9:24, the Bible says. So how is this not talking about the poverty of the Most High, when you would call God's people? Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, in the name of Christ. How is this not talking about us? Man, we're impoverished. But thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews. Who's walking around here talking about they're Jews? The people who did these little dots right here and took the Syrian of the LASHAWAN Kodash and went around and saying, instead of saying Ba, Ah, Ba, Ga, Da. Simple as that. There's only two vowels, Ah and I. Not Ah. Ain't no ad here, and that's how they pronounce it. You check it out sometime. But that's what I surmise off of those dots that I've done. I mean, I can get into more detail on that, but this is not the class. I'll break the class down where we can show the symbols and what they actually mean and how they get their sounds. Because they have more they can take. They can make this sound 3 different ways. Why? Because it's not their language. They had to doctor up their language. Blasphemy. This is holy. You take something holy and you doctor it up with these dots. Blasphemy. Well, let's finish reading. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews. That's the Yiddish people. And are not. And the Bible goes on to tell you who they really are. But they are the synagogue of who? Somebody in the audience right there in our class tonight, type out who is this talking about. Who did this? But they are the synagogue of what? What does it? But they are the synagogue of who? People just starting off. I know everybody knows this. Type it out anyway. Let's make sure we get a general consensus of this devil that did this. But they're the synagogue of who? I mean, who would actually go and steal somebody's language? Who would do that? Let's see, what's Salaki? Shirah said Satan. That's exactly right. Get our sister hand. That's exactly right. That's what the Bible says. And that's supposed to, if you follow along, you'll see that answer in there. She said Satan because that's who it is. Synagogue of Satan. That's these people. They did this language. They took these dots and made it unholy. You know, it's actually Ba, the purest language in the state. Until the Most High gets back here and change all of this, it will be this way until we can change. All we got to do is separate from Israel. Badalka, which is another word, which is another time. But let's get a little bit deeper into class right here. Just want to let you know, for people who starting off, who don't know, I'm not going to get too much into the characters too much. Let's get into a class just a little bit here. We'll be talking about stolen goods. I mean, that word, ganal, stolen. Let's go here a little bit. Let's go to Ezra 1:7. Let's find out what they're talking about here. Time when they did this. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. Ezra 1:7. Yeah. Ezra 1:7. It said King Cyrus. Now he was like, when you had Esther on the scene, Cyrus, that was a king on the scene. He was king of Persia. Persia is a place where you have, who's living there now? You remember you had the Medes and the Persians. The Medes lived north of Iran. Now Iraq is a place where Saddam Hussein, the one that they killed, But Iran, you have that big old nation right there. And the Medes and the Persians got together and overthrew King Nebuchadnezzar. That's really the history of it. I don't get into too much more detail other than that because I want to describe the LASHAWAN QADASAH, what they stole, and I'll tell you about that. But listen what King Cyrus said right here. Ezra, chapter 1, verse 7. Also Cyrus the king brought forth the vessels of the house of the Lord, or of our Lord, which Nebuchadnezzar had brought forth out of Jerusalem. Now, Nebuchadnezzar brought these vessels out of Jerusalem. But since King Cyrus, king of Persia, since he took them out, he said brought forth right here. That word, brought. He brought them. But they don't say right here what he should have been saying when he said that brought forth. He really stole them. That's stolen vessels. That word is ganab. In Assyrian, it would be ga-nab. In Paleo, that word stolen would look like this. Like this. Ga-nab. And of course we have, there we go. And of course we have connectors, so it's ga and nab. So we have a connector that is brought like this. We have God by itself. It looks like that. That U is a symbol. We call it a connector that stands alone by itself. It's independent. Now you want to make a dependent connector. You want to join things together so the word can be pronounced correctly. So we have God right here. That little sideways 7, or looking sideways L. And then we have Nab. Na, which is this right here. Na. In well, yeah, we'll put it in Paleo. In Paleo, it looks like that. That's what Na looks like. In Assyrian, that Na will look like this. Because it doesn't fall at the end of a sentence, it'll look like that. Or end of a word. We have Palak, Lord and Christ. Palak, oppress. All right. Very good. Palak, oppress. I'll put your name down, class. All right. You know, that's what the Na really looks like right there. Kind of like understanding these words here, Na. Okay? So you won't have no misconstruing of what they look like, what they should look like. Okay. Gana, brought. Let's finish reading here. Let's go back to Ezra. It said, also Cyrus the king brought forth the vessels out of the house of the Lord, which Nebuchadnezzar had brought forth out of Jerusalem. Now what are you doing bringing forth stuff out of Jerusalem? Why do you do that? Why are you bringing stuff out of Jerusalem? Well, let's see what it says. And had put them in the house of his gods. Excuse me. So what is going on here? What is King Cyrus and Nebuchadnezzar, who brought him forth first, because that's what this said. It says, which Nebuchadnezzar had brought forth out of Jerusalem. Also Cyrus the king brought forth the vessel. When they say brought forth, you might as well say they stole. And that's what we're talking about tonight. Stolen vessels. Stolen goods. Stolen. The word is ganab. So let's go and read. Okay, let's go to verse 1. Verse 3, 1 and 3. Let's read this. Ezra 1 and 3. Who is there among you? Now he's talking to us. Who is there among you of all his people? His people. Because he knows this ain't his people doing it. He's talking about us, the children of Israel. He's trying to say, if I got this straight here, his God be with him. His God. Our God. That's what he's trying to say. Because he has us in captivity. And let him go to Jerusalem. And because he wanted to build a house, he is God, blah, blah, blah. Now he know that he ain't got no business doing this. But this is what he's talking about. And of course you can go on further and read it. And it says right here, verse 8, 1 and 8. Let's skip down to 8. Even those did Cyrus king of Persia bring forth by the hand of Midrath, the treasurer, and numbered them into Sheshbazzar, the prince of Judah. See, now King Cyrus said, man, look, we got so much stuff here. We got so much stolen goods here. Let's number this stuff. Man, he brought forth, what is it again? Brought forth by the hand of Mithredath, the treasurer. He brought his, listen, he got a treasurer going around here. Mithredath. So come on here, man. Let's type this in. Let's find out. But just like a stolen, just like somebody who steals something, right? Stolen, talking about they brought it forth. I just wrote the word down there so you can see what it's saying in Ezra 1 and 7. Talking about they brought it forth. They stole it. Stolen goods. That word, like I said, to reiterate, ganab. Ganab. Here's the word again. They stole it. Ganab, that's Assyrian. And here is Paleo. Ganab, with the connectors and all of that. Talking about they brought it forth like they owned it. But Nebuchadnezzar knew both. He knew better. So let's go back to, he knew the difference between us and them. He knew these were our vessels. He says back in 3, who is there among you of all his people? He's asking a question. He's asking, who is that? Who among y'all? Because he know he's talking to the children of Israel, okay? His God be with him. Let him go up to Jerusalem, okay? They talk about building a house. He's letting us do that in Ezra. You finally talk about Jeremiah talking about bringing the things homeless. Matter of fact, let's get to that. Jeremiah, before we get into the things that were stolen, let's get back and see what Jeremiah has to say about this particular incident. I think this is what it is. Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, what did I say, 27? 27 and 21. Let's get into that one right here. Okay, yeah, here it is right here. It says, yea, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the Most High Yahweh, the power of Israel, we call it the God of Israel, concerning the vessels that remain in the house of the Lord, and in the house of the king of Judah and Jerusalem. They shall be carried. Look, check this out. Let's back up. Let's back up to verse 20. But Jeremiah, he's saying this right here. 27 and 20. Let's back this up a second. Which Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, see, took not. Now these are the things that he didn't take. When he carried away captive Jeconiah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah. Now Jehoiakim was not, and I repeat, was not an authentic king. And I'll show you that in a second here. Jehoiakim, king of Judah, Jerusalem to Babylon, and the nobles of Judah. Let's find out who the Judah. I mean, since we're on that, let's see. Let's find out a little bit here. I remember reading a little bit about that. Jehoiakim. I knew that rascal is, so I can get into this a little bit. Yeah, here it is right here. Jehoiakim. Let's go to 2 Chronicles 36 and 4. Let's go there. Let's find out who Jeremiah is talking about, this Jehoiakim right guy. 2 Chronicles. Yep. 2 Chronicles, what did I say? 36 and 4. All right. Let's check this out right here. And the king of Egypt put him down, Jerusalem, condemned the land in the 100 talents of silver and talents of gold. And check this out. Pay close attention. 2 Corinthians 36 and 4. Let's find out who this is. And the king of Egypt made Elikam, his brother, over Judah and Jerusalem. See, we're in captivity, man. So much in captivity. Look who the kings they put up against. Look at the king they put in places of who. That's why you don't vote. I didn't vote for these people. I'm sure our people did. But check this out. Check this out. Look, check this out right here. The king of Egypt. You know, that's Ham. Egypt? It's Mizraim. That's Ham. The king of Egypt made Elikam, his brother, king over Judah and Jerusalem, and turned his name to Jehoiakim. Let's go back to Jeremiah 27 and 21. We just got through reading. That wasn't even the real king of Egypt, a king of Jerusalem. He was a Hamite. And Necho took Jehoiakim, his brother, and carried him to Egypt. Jehoiakim was 20 years old, blah, blah, blah. We'll read about that a little later when I get into a little bit about Jehoiakim and all of those. Let's see who's checked in the class. LaShawan. All right. Dennisville. Good. LaShawan. All right. Trooper LaShawan. One of our upcoming brothers practice getting himself together there. Taking his time. We have Trooper LaShawan. Okay. Y'all pay attention to here in class. We'll get you involved here a little bit further. We'll pay attention to this right here. Let's go back and read this again. Jehoiakim, to show you that we've been in captivity. Before I get into these stolen goods, to show you why. I mean, this is how things can happen. They still, King of Persia was simply just stealing stuff that Babylon, or bringing stuff out, or stealing it, that the king of Babylon has already stolen the vessels. So he says, shoot, these mine, man, to, the spoils of the war. So, but let's find out who King Jehoiakim is. The king of Egypt made Eliakim, his brother, king of Judah and Jerusalem, and turned his name to Jehoiakim. And Necho took Jehoahaz, his brother, and carried him to Egypt. So here's an African king sitting up here. Lord have mercy. Look at us. Let's see who else checking in class. Wow. Yaila Amawad. All right. Got Sister Yaila. We saw her down here for one of the feasts. And Truth Amawad. Yaila Amawad. Okay. Now, let's go back to Jeremiah 27. Let's find out. Let's read that again. It's made hard to believe that we let these people do this, but this is how they can steal our goods. So we so confused sitting up here. We sitting up here, don't even know who we are. Well, let's go to Jeremiah 27:21. Let's go back there again. Let's find out. Let's substantiate what we were doing. 27, a reading about this king. Show you. 27:21. 27:20. Which Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, took not. Now these are some goods and things that he didn't take. And when he carried away captive Jeconiah, the son of Jehoiakim, that's his son. Because after Jehoiakim, which is an evil king, he was a Hamite. How could he be anything else but that? And Judah, from Jerusalem to Babylon. That's what Nebuchadnezzar was, okay? And the nobles of Judah and Jerusalem. Yea, thus saith the, verse 21. Yea, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, concerning the vessels that remain, right here, in the house of Israel. Concerning the vessels that remain in the house of Israel. And in the house of the king of Judah. Man, we got people over us in captivity. King Cyrus, King Nebuchadnezzar. Then he overthrew King Nebuchadnezzar when Daniel was in there in the lion's den. You guys remember that story? Now you got King Cyrus, okay? He done took over the goods the stolen goods that were brought forth or stolen, ganab, that word, out of Babylon and took them to Persia, okay? And that's you got all kinds of people over us stealing stuff from us. Let's read about let's read about let's see, Daniel 5:3. Let's see what he has to say about it. Let's see, Old Testament. Yeah. Let's see what Daniel 5:3 got to say about it. Okay. Check this out. Daniel 5:3. And they brought forth the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of Yahweh, which was at where? Jerusalem. And the king and the princes and his wives and his concubines, they desecrated them by drinking out of it. These are vessels. Stolen. Okay? Stolen goods brought forth. That's what Daniel says. So we got three texts here that, three actually, that talks about stolen goods, and they all relate to the same thing. So somebody has taken our goods. You know. Now, King Nebuchadnezzar, let's go back to King Cyrus. Let's go back to that rascal. That rotten rascal. Let's go back to Ezra. Let's see what he's talking about. Ezra 1. That rotten rascal. Yeah. Check this out. And Cyrus, verse 7, we'll read it again. And Cyrus the king brought forth the vessels. He stole. I will say he brought forth. I say stolen vessels, stolen goods, out of the house of the Lord, which Nebuchadnezzar, the king before him, who we took over, had brought forth out of Jerusalem, and put them in the house of his gods. Now, his gods ain't our gods. He put them, matter of fact, they drank out of them, having all kind of fornication, got ham and who knows what they got over there. Pig snout, pig feet, chitlins, they got all that stuff. You know, that's where we get it from, eating that garbage. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we don't got no business eating this stuff. And then anyway, I won't get off subject. But check this out. These kings stole our goods. And there are more. We can get into the Edomites that stole because they simply just followed suit. We're in captivity. We're spoiled. We got our goods. But then they say, let's see here. Let's lock a second. Yeah, kings of all the kings of earth have charged me to build. Check this out. Let's read verse 2. Thus says Cyrus, king of Persia, this rotten rascal, the Lord God of heaven hath given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and hath charged me to build him a house in Jerusalem, which is Jerusalem. Okay, check this out. Now he's calling on the Lord, okay? Who is there among you? His God be with him. And like I talk, if the Lord God gave him something, why is he saying his God be with them? See? Which is in Judah, and build the house of the Lord, which is God. Say he is God, which is Jerusalem. See, his acknowledgement of building, stolen all these vessels, if he really knew, Exodus 21:16. Let's go there. Let's see what the Lord talks about. Stealing. Because we're stolen. He got us in captivity. And he's talking about God gave him something. Check this out. Exodus 21:16. Let's see what it says. And he that stealeth a man, or ganab, and he that stealeth a man, and selleth him. Oh, that's what we were. That mean we slaves. You know, they stealing us. They had us in captivity everywhere. All even here. Or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. How come he didn't read that? You know why King Cyrus didn't put this in his little writings here? Because he's not one of us. King Cyrus, King Nebuchadnezzar, they're not our people. You know, those are Persians and Africans. Even Jehoiakim was an African. What are you doing there? Because we opened up our temple and allowed ourselves to be captive because we didn't obey the commandments of the Most High. That's the biggest thing. That's the hardest part for us to believe, but that's really what happened. Let's find out here. Who else? Okay, good. When you open up your house and let the thief to come in, lock it. Open up your house and let the thief come in, this is what happened. So let's look at it. Let's go down here. Let's find out. We'll do a little background. Let's find out what they took. Man, you're gonna be. I want y'all to tell me what you think about this. Let's find a little bit about what they took. Out of let's stay in Ezra. Let's find out the price of some of this stuff that they took. Let's go back. Since you know you're not supposed to steal a man, you're not supposed to steal our goods, they did. Okay? Ezra, let's go back there. Ezra, first chapter here. Let's go. Let's find out. Okay. Verse 8, let's read that again. Even those did Cyrus, king of Persia, bring forth of the hand of Mithrath, the treasurer. They got a treasurer, and numbered them to Sheshbazzar. They numbered them unto Sheshbazzar, the prince of Judah. They done took our kings out of the way. So get out of the way. Move out of the way here. We're going to put this king over here, this king over here. By the way, we got your vessels. We drinking out of them. Stolen goods, you know. Wake up, people. We need to get our stolen goods back. Well, let's keep reading this story. Let's keep reading it here. And the number, verse 9. And this is the number of them. This is the number they did. This is what they did. What did I say? 30 charges. I want the women or the men to tell me what is a charger. I know y'all women know. 30 charges of what? 30 charges of gold. Oh man. I want y'all to type in there, tell me what a charger is. 30 charges of gold. Get some room here. 30 charges of gold. Now let's see. LASHAWAN QADASAH class. So we're gonna get while y'all get tell me what a charger is. Type it in. Type your women and men. This is for you guys. Tell me what a charger is. This word right here. That word. Now I know y'all think about it. Think about it, especially women. You know, you got your plates, your silverware, your knives. What's a charger? Tell me what that is. Okay? 30 charges of gold. All right? And let's see. Let's see, the word for charger is agaratal. Yeah, that's the word. Okay, and we'll get it down here. Agaratal. That's the word. Okay, and of course, gold. This will be a good one right here. Zahab. It's a good word to know. And of course, 30 is shalashim. You know, now we're talking our counting here. Yum. 30 charges of silver, of gold. Tell me in the chat. I want y'all to tell me. Y'all wake up, audience. Tell me, what's a charger? They took, this is what the account says that they took out of it. And I'm sure this is just what he wrote. There's more, I'm sure. Because when Jeremiah said the things that remain in the temple, there's still more out there. So I'll give you guys a few more seconds here. Tell me, what is a charger? Agaratal. What is that? What is a charger? Tell me what that is. Okay? Okay? You know, when John the Baptist, I give you a hint. John the Baptist was involved with the Charger. I ain't talking about a car, you know. What's a Charger? I know you women know. I know y'all know. Sister Yala and Shara. Yeah, I know y'all know. Balak. I believe that's, I'm not sure, yeah. Y'all sisters, whoever that is. What's a Charger? You know, before I give it away here. Well, there's 30 of them. And I'll give you the price of what they are in today's standards. To give you an idea, because I'm sure, just give you an idea. A Charger, give you got 10 more seconds here. What is a Charger? You know, when John the Baptist had his head on one, it was cut off. You know, cut off. And one of the stories in the Bible said, one of the women said, we want to have, who was that king? Was it Agrippa? Can't remember. Let's see. Wanted to marry his sister or something like that. A Charger. Jewelry. Yala said jewelry. Okay. Yeah, you can sell that. Let me see. That's right, Sister Y'all. Here's one right here. That's a Charger. And ironically, I looked it up. That's a Charger. John the Baptist's head was on something like that. Only in their time, if you look at the thickness of this, I measured about 1/4 of an inch thick. And I saw in the writings, it said a Charger was about 14, it says a platter plate. Yeah, Adrian, yeah, platter plate. So Yala and Adrian, y'all are right. It's a plate. It's jewelry, you're right. It's a plate. That's all it really is. It's a plate. That's exactly right, sis. That's right, sisters. Give a sister a hand. That's exactly right. It's a plate. It's a platter, the ones I just picked up. And that platter, oh my. Let me see. Let's see, 30 charges of silver. It's a plate, it's a platter. Today's price, if 30 of them, and this is just one instance. 30 of them things, I did some calculations on this. Do you got any idea? I want you guys to type in the chat how much you think 30 chargers of gold plates will be worth. I don't want to give it to you right away. Let me, yeah. Y'all sisters and brothers in there, tell me, I'll give you guys a chance. What do you think 30 chargers or plates will be worth of value in today's price? I'll give you guys a chance to look at it. Okay? 30 chargers or plates. What do you think the value would be? What do you think the value of 30 chargers of gold would be? What's your guess? I'll give you guys a second because I want you guys to participate so you can understand. Adrian, Shalom, Charles, good. Okay, Joe, yeah, good. I want you guys to really understand what they took from us, these stolen goods. Ganab. This Zahab is gold. You know, of course, while you're doing it, I want you guys to tell me what the value of 30, let me give you a picture. And Officer Natazah, our camp leader, he bought this. It looks like that. How much do you think 30 of these are? 30 of these right now. Stolen goods. What do you think 30 of these cost? In today's standard price. 30 of them. And that's just 30. There ain't no telling how many they done missed. Give you an idea. Okay? Of course, gold, Zahab, it looks like this. Zahab. Syria? Yeah, I wrote it in Assyria. I write in Assyria because this is the language we're talking about right now in Paleo. But give me an idea. 30 chargers in gold. Somebody wrote, higher than that, Adrian. Higher than that, sis. Let's go a little bit higher than that, sis. Get an A for effort. However, it's higher than that. I'll give y'all a few more seconds here. 30 charges. What do you think that costs? What do you think that is in today's price? You know, just what do you think? If you think Adrian's right, she said $500. What do you think is? What do you think? I think it's more, but what do you think? I'm a wild guess. He says 300,000. Let's see. Let's see. I'm a wild. You're very close. You close, brothers. As a matter of fact, it's worth 390. I'll round it off. 395,000. I calculated it. If it was a 1/4 inch thick and they're 14 inches round, like that. That's just one account. One account. 30 charges of gold. So it's like a third. 395,000. Okay, that's just 30 charges. Now you wait till I get finished with all these calculations, because you know gold. So like gold weighs 12. Let's see, 12. You know what a pound? Yeah, the gold weight. $15,000 a pound. So anyway, that's that. Okay, now let's get 1,000. Let's get into something here. Very good, I'll get it. That brother hand. $395,000 of plates. Who buys 395,000 chargers and put them in their house? Israel had them because they were real gold. Now that's just one account. Now we're going to keep going further. We got more than that to say about this. That's 30 charges. I want y'all to wake up and tell me this. This is something here. We're talking about gold, silver that they took from us in Jerusalem. Okay? And took it away to their land. Let's look at this one. I'll go out of order here a little bit. And let's go. Y'all ladies, they had 1,929 knives. I'm giving you the lightweight stuff here because I don't want to blow you away, okay? This is 1925 knives of silver. In today's price, these are knives, forks. What else they have? Let's see. Knives, forks, spoons, or whatever. Knives and forks. That's what they use. Of course, they used them and desecrated them. They probably melted some of them down. Some of them are probably all stuffed in the Vatican somewhere. Who knows? 1929. So if you were to go out and buy 1,929 knives of silver, and silver, that word is kasap. 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 In Hebrew, of course. And it's kasap, just like that. Kasap. And of course it has an ending vowel, an ending connector there. An ending character. So we use that P, kasap, because it's ending. It'll look like that. Okay, silver. And of course, knives, that word is makah. How much you think this will cost? How much you think that'll cost? If you women would go out and buy for your husbands, and men, how much would you approve for the budget? 1,900. Say, look, we're gonna have a big party, but we need almost 2,000 knives. You know, and we ain't talking about plastic. We're talking about silver. What would you pay for that? What would you pay? What would you think that value would be nowadays? Shara. Wild guess that Shara said 250 million. Not quite that big, Shara. Not quite that big. But you, 1929, these just knives, you know, they're a little smaller, because you know about a knife, you know, and you know, size of that maybe. Come down with your numbers a little bit. 1929. God, give you about 15 more seconds here. See if you can come up with it. Not quite that much. We just give you an idea. Give you an idea of, it's like 42 pounds. And silver, $655 pounds for silver. I'm kind of giving you the answer away because I figured it all out. Imagine, I'll give you guys a few more seconds. Imagine coming home and saying, honey, I'm telling your husband, you know, I done bought, like you told me, 1929, and here's the figure. Here's how much it costs. We give you an idea, you know, we got to just give you an idea to show you what they stole, what Cyrus, with the account of Ezra and Jeremiah, and even Daniel, of the stolen goods, the stolen vessel. How much this stuff worth? I mean, this is not even all of it, because some of it still remain. Anyway, these kings took this, they wiped out as much as they can, because when I get finished, you're going to see it's the numbers is astounding. I'm just giving you some small excerpts of what some of this stuff costs. So let's see who's got in the chat over here. Let's find out. Adrian said 250,000. Some of 2 million, 250. That's a lot. Big difference. Okay, let me tell you. Not quite. It is actually $27,000, 608. What I calculated. If you would use a standard, you know, if I melted it down, let's see. If I use the knives, and I got the pounds, and I got what the how much they would weigh, more or less, $27,000. Who would go and buy $27,000 of knives and forks? That's just one instance. That's just one occasion. So that's just giving you an idea of the magnitude of the treasure so far. All right? Let's just give you an idea. Let's get into this one right here. Let's give you an idea of what's in front of us. $27,000 of knives. Who in the world buy that? Because that's how much that's worth. That's real silver. You know, silver nowadays is about, I don't know, $20-some a pound. That's how much they have. Okay, let's finish going on here. Let's go to, oh my goodness. This is a big number here. Oh my God. Let's go back to that 30 again. 30 basins. Now we get a little bigger here. Of Zahab, gold. 30 basins of gold. You know, like I said again, that word is Zahab. Now, let me give you an idea so you guys can give an idea, give you a breast of what a basin is. A basin, let me see, what did I do here? The volume of a basin is worth about 40 baths, or about 880 liters, or about 230 gallons. Okay, it's like what a woman needs to take a bath. There are 40 of them. These are the basins that they fill up. Okay? You know, and I got some diameters here, and some different things I got set in Chronicles, and just some different measurements. Like, and of course, a bath times 10 is equal to a homer. That's a homer. And I don't get too depth with this, I just let you know that, what do you think 30 bases of gold, 230 gallons, what comes out to be 6,900 gallons? That's just gallons. Okay? Oh my God. 57,587 pounds of gold would be worth. Tell me that number. See if y'all can come up with this one. I'll be shocked if you do. Oh my goodness. 30 basins. Now we ain't even finished. We're just telling you the gold and the day's price of what that's worth. And they had a lot more missing than that. See if y'all can calculate that. All the sisters and brothers, Shah, Shar, all y'all. 30 basins of gold, okay? Let's see the word for basin. Let's get into some Hebrew here. The word for basin is kapawah. Ka, pa, war. Okay, kapawah. 30 basins of gold, which was 230 gallons per gallon for one basin. They give you an idea, 6,900 gallons. How much would you think that'd be worth? Today's price. What did I say? Basins. Kapawar. So it looks like this in Hebrew. Ka, pa. This is Assyrian, of course. Wa. All right. That's Assyrian for that word, and the zahab is gold. Y'all, I'm waiting for y'all answer over there. Okay, and then we got gold, of course, zahab. Zahab, I'm sorry. Zahab. Okay. This is usually Assyrian, which is befitting because that's the Syrian, and Babylon, of course. You know, Assyrian, you know, where Daniel was captive, and of course, later on, Esther in Persia, she was captive there. And I'm pretty sure they witnessed a lot of this. They saw this brought in or whatever. They knew that this taken from our temple, you know. Daniel saw that the king Nebuchadnezzar was drinking out of their vessels. That's why I think the Bible says this, mene, tekel upharsin. That means his time is up. And found waiting in the balance, you know. Then King Persia stepped right on in there and took these goods. But these are our goods. This is Israel goods, stolen goods that they've taken here. 30 bases of gold. How much do you think that's worth? Let's see what they got in the chat over here. Let's see what my brothers and sisters got in the chat right here. Adrian say 54,000. Let me see here. Now more than that, Adrian. Let me give you an idea of what we're talking about here. A basin. If a woman, you know, takes a bath, and that's 230 gallons, and basin looking like that, let me give you an idea. And there's 30 of these basins. This is 6,900 gallons. I mean, this is the what was that guy named Mizrath or whatever his name? He's the accountant that King Cyrus came to say, look here, man, keep account of all this. Because one of these days, a guy named QADASAH will come down here and try to figure it out. Nah, just joking. But check this out. You fill up a tub, you know, and you pour some gallon jugs in this tub, 230 of them. You know, this is a basin. You know, they had all kinds of size basins too, and size platters, but most platters are 14 inches, basins, you know, 230 gallons. Let's give you an idea of how much money is 30 bases of gold. We guys give you another few seconds here. 30 basins of gold is worth how much in today's price? Shara said 90,000. Adrian said 54,000. Let's give you a little bit more. I'll give you an idea. It's higher. Because if you fill this up with gold, and there's 30 of them, oh my. Let's give you an idea. And of course, the word for 30, let's see, shalashim, there you go. Got my mind on so many things here. Should I spell that right? Shalashim, Shalashim. And remember, 30, you have to put shalash is 30, but when you put yam on the end, it's pluralizing it from 10, from Ashariam, which is 20, then of course you keep putting yam on it, and you keep making it plural, plural, plural. We give you guys another 10, 15 seconds before I give it away here. We're talking about 30 basins of gold. This is no small number, I'll tell you that. Adrian said, you get a little better, Adrian. What did you say, 18 or 1.8? She said 1.8, okay. And of course, me being an engineer by retired profession, trying to be, I call myself calculating this stuff, and I hope I don't mislead nobody, but this is pretty much what it is. All right, I'll give it to you. Let me give you an idea of what this costs. If you take 30 basins of gold, an idea of what they got from us, it's an astounding number, 863,119,951. That's almost $1 billion just in a basin of gold. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Why do I say that? Let's go back here and read. Let's find out why I said that. Let's go back and find out why I said it's the tip of the iceberg. Let's go to, what was I at? Let's go to Ezra, the account, where the stuff was taken. 30 basins of gold, silver basins, and the second sort 410, and other vessels 1,000. Oh my God! And all I said was $1 billion. He went back and said 30 basins of gold. There it is. You might as well say $1 billion. 863, 119, almost $1 billion. 863,119,851. Okay. And what did I say? 30 basins of gold, silver basins. Now there's some silver in there too, okay? A second sort, 410, and other vessels of 1,000. I ain't got time. I can't count all of that. But trust me, we probably into the 4 or 5 billion by now. Okay, and then here's the one that'll top it all off. Read verse 11. All the vessels of gold, zahab. All the vessels of zahab and kasap. That's silver. All the vessels of gold and silver, zahab and kasap, were 5,400. Oh my goodness. 5,400. Those are just more vessels. So let's just say that these basins were full. Let me let that sink in for a second. Slap for a second. Let's let that sink in for 1 second here. Adrian, 1.3. Okay, good. One better. Good. You close when you said 1 million. But you gotta realize that's 863 million. 119,951. You know, put another number over there to the left, you have a billion. So, this number right here, let me erase this for a second. Let me erase this. All sorts. I mean, this, let me see, what's this accounting name? Here's an accountant right here. I'm pretty sure he probably ran out of decimal places. Even those, verse 8, even those that King Cyrus, king of Persia, bring forth the hand of Mithridath, the treasurer. This treasurer right probably gave up because he just gave me a number right here. He said 5,000. And 4. Oh my God. 5,004. 5,400. Oops, I got that wrong. Nope, got that wrong. 5,400, not 5,004. Those some more vessels. Some more vessels, some more 5,400 of these kalays. Word for vessel is kala. Sorry, kala. That's the word for vessels. That's 5,400 kala. That's a lot. If you were to even say, this is just 30, if you just say these things are basins, they're bowls, because a basin ain't nothing but just a bunch of bowls put together, you know, gallons, different quantities. Baralaba. Okay, Baralaba. Let's put you down in class right here. Glad you can join us a little late, sister, but better late than never. Baralaba. Okay. Now you're talking about 5,400. That's 5,000. We're going to say a lot. That's 1,000. Oops. A lot. But we got to say a lot yum. Right? And then we got to say the word for 5, so the kamash. Kamashalapyan, that's 5,000. Then we got to say 400. So we got to get over here and say, oh Lord. We got to get over here and say Arba. For 4. Well, we got to put Arba over here. Ba. And then we got to use the word for 100. We got to use Ma'a. Ma'a. Yum. That's how you would say that word. Alapyam Kamash Mayam Arbai. Or Arbai Ma'ayam Kamash Alapyam. So we got 5,400. More vessels. If I were to multiply that just using basins, I'm afraid to even put the number in here, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's give you an idea of what Israel had, because it could be more or less. You know, I reserve the right. I wasn't accounting back there, trying to account for all this stuff. You know, thank God. Let's just see what this number would be. It's going to be probably in scientific notation here because it's so big. Yep, it's in scientific notation. So that's 4.66 times to the 12th power? Oh my God. I can't. That's astounding. And that's just all the vessels. This man gave, he did basically what he's saying. Out of the 30 charges, the 1929 knives, and the 30 charges, there are 5,400 vessels that, man, I ain't got time to sit up here and count, King. I'm just going to type them in and just say, that's 5,400. Oh, let's read it. 4.8 times 10 to the 12th. I mean, you know, it's a number. It's a big number. Scientific notation. That's back when we were using scientific notation. Let's read it again. All the vessels of gold or zahab, that's what we use, that word right there, gold, and silver. What did I say silver was? Can't keep all this up. And silver, kasab, that's right. Gold and silver were 5,400. That's what he had. That means there's more. After he counted the charges, the knives, spoons, the plates, the basins, and he's saying, look, that's 5,400 more vessels in here. I can't count all this. He said he gave up. So he just said vessel, 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 cup, cup, vessel, vessel. That's pretty much what he's saying. Here's some, like if you, if I were to, like this right here. So I'm an officer here, I can show you. That's a vessel. Stuff like that. You know, stuff like that. Put in tubs. You know, stuff like that. Things like that. Cups. You know, because there's so many things like this. This cup. Right there that we use in class. Okay? Which the Most High allows us. Okay? Alright? Things like that. The menorah. That's what he's saying. That's what he said. That's 5,400 of the stuff. I can't keep up with all this. There's so much I just can't keep up with it. And that's what they're saying that was taken. So that number is like, if I said to the 12th, it'd be like 4.6 to the 12th of what? I multiply that number. That's like, I don't, it's hard for me to describe it. But if you take a billion and imagine 4.6 to the 12th power, it's supposed to be to the first power. But that's what this number would be. But they said to the 12th. 4.66 to the 12th. That's an astounding number. And that's why I said these kings stole, and even Esau in Rome, that stuff came all the way down from them, because by that statue, the head of those stealing powers, they took all these things, Cyrus, Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, then Cyrus, and then they appointed their kings, their princes and kings, and their accountants, and they started watching over our stuff because it was stolen. But now, they stole it. And that's what happens when you steal stuff. Let's check the chat here. That's happened when you steal things from Israel. Salakia. Baralabah, Salakia. Okay. All right. What are you saying, Bara? I don't know. But anyway, 5,400. Those are just vessels. Well, I ain't gonna. Those are just vessels. I'm gonna write that where I just did right here. 5,400 I'm sorry. Those vessels. Those are more vessels, which the man couldn't even account for. That accountant couldn't account for. Let's read it. Let's read it back again. Let's see what he's saying. Let's see. We got some time here. It says, even those did Cyrus, verse 8, king of Persia brought forth out of the hand of my Theodroph, the treasurer, and numbered them in Sheshbazzar, the prince of Judah. See, his prince, they're signing their princes there because they even gave Daniel another name, Belteshazzar. Okay. So poor Daniel, he's sitting up here in Persia. I mean, in Babylon. I'm pretty sure he got shipped over there too. All of them giving their account. But these are the things that are stolen. Let's go back to Daniel again. Let's read what Daniel, because he was in a living account of these right here. You remember Daniel? Back Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He was back there. He witnessed it. Jeremiah, Ezra, going back home to rebuild their land in Jerusalem, and because they let them. But you know, how are they letting them when they still in charge? What's that? You know, they took the stolen things. So how are they letting them do anything? So anyway, that's how I see it. Let's go back and let's go to Daniel 5:3. See what Daniel said about it again. We read this before. We'll read it again. Daniel 5:3. Okay. Then they brought the golden vessels that were taken, or I would say, when they say taken, they're saying, they're admitting they were stolen out of the temple of the house of Yahweh, which was at Jerusalem. Y'all forgetting Jerusalem. Just in case you forget, these vessels came from Jerusalem. They stole it. This is our property. Said they brought them out of there, okay? The golden vessels. Daniel's telling the truth about it. They were taken, stolen. Not brought. The king talking about which were brought out of there. Why did he say they were taken? Because he's not one of us. But Daniel cleaned it up. Daniel 5:3 said, look here, let's read it again. They were brought, then they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple. Oh man, it's a lot of nerve. Going in the temple of the Most High and taking things like this. This is solid, let's say this was solid zahab, or solid gold. That is a menorah. And that is something that we use in our temple or in our school. We had that in our temple. Of course, it's not real gold in here. Not at all. It's just a replica. It's what we use because the Most High commanded us to do so. But if that were to be gold, that's what Daniel's talking about. Then they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple. We're reading in Daniel 5:3, out of the house of God, or Yahweh, which was at Jerusalem. Okay? It was at Jerusalem before. So Daniel gave the account, the accurate account, said, look, man, these things were stolen. Now let's go back to Ezra 1:7. He's talking about, let's read in contrast to what Ezra is saying. I mean, not Ezra, but what Ezra gives account of what King Cyrus is trying to open up his mouth. Also Cyrus the king brought forth the vessels. Now he brought them forth. Daniel said, taken or stolen. This king talking about he brought them forth. Yeah, I guess he would say, being a heathen, I'm bringing them forth. So if he's supposed to be some man of God, which he wasn't, then why is he saying brought forth? The words are not the same. Stolen means ganab. Okay? That's what it means. Stolen. Brought forth the vessels out of the house of the Most High, which Nebuchadnezzar, now Daniel was in Nebuchadnezzar's days, had brought forth, they use that word, brought forth again, you might as well say stolen. Because that's what it was. had stolen out, had brought forth or had stolen out of Jerusalem. That's where we resided. And had put them in the house of his gods. That's how you know this king ain't the authentic king of nothing. Jehoiakim is not the official king of nothing. He was an implant put there, a Hamite. Here is a man of Persia, king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar. What's that? Another Ham? However it adds up, these are not kings of Israel. Our priests and prophets of the Most High, Jeremiah and Ezra and Daniel, told you, man, these things were stolen. These are our goods. These are our stolen goods. And I told you what the number is. This is 863 billion. That's just an idea. When you multiply that times the 5,400 vessels that were Calais that were actually there, I can't even come up with a proper number that fit in my calculator. It's got to go to scientific notation. Think about that. This is what they did against us. This is what they did. They took these vessels. First of all, they desecrated them. Now, what does that mean? They desecrated them. Let's look that word up. Let's go back, because Daniel 5:3 tells the story. Let's look up desecrate, and let's just see what it means. Let's go back. Let's go back to Daniel 5:3 first. Let's use the word from there. Let's go to Daniel, back again, 5:3. Show what they did to our stuff. Okay. They brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of God, which was at Jerusalem, the king, the prince, the wives, and the concubines, and drank in them. If they drank in them, I'm saying they desecrated them. They're not supposed to be doing that. Those are for the children of Israel. Somebody like Jeremiah, Daniel, and Ezekiel, if they did, we're the children of Israel. If it was meant for our service, no, they sitting around there taking a piece of ham, putting it in their mouth, drinking all over the cups, spitting on the floor or something. Ain't no telling. But you see, let's go back here to Daniel 5:1. Belshazzar. Now that's back in Babylon. We're back in Babylon now, because that's where King Nebuchadnezzar was, and King Cyrus took him over. So we'll talk about King Nebuchadnezzar. Belshazzar, the king, had made a great feast, because he took over. He's getting ready to be taken over. Belshazzar, the king, made a great feast to thousands of his lords, and drank wine before 1,000. Belshazzar, while he tasted the wine, commanded to bring the golden and silver vessels. And his father, Nebuchadnezzar, that's his father. See? Nebuchadnezzar, that's the one who brought or stole, and then later on Cyrus took it from him. This is all things by the design of the Most High. What was that? Which his father, in verse 2, Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple which was in Jerusalem, that the king and his princes and wives and concubines might drink out of them. They brought forth the golden vessels and taken out of the temple, the house of God, Jerusalem, and the king, the princes, the wives, the concubines, and they drank in them. They drank wine, praised the gods of gold and silver, Zahab and Kalak, and of iron, of wood, and stone. Now these are their gods. Here it is again. Gods of wood and stone, their little crosses and their little ideas of later on where you're going to find out where all the religions were made from. From here. These are it, And then, of course, it talks about how he was taken over, and that's a whole other story. But these are the kings that took and stole our vessels. Nebuchadnezzar, and then Cyrus, and so on and so forth. And of course, you got all the way down the line where Esau came. He's down in the statue. going all the way down, and he took our stolen goods and vessels. And all told, 5,400 more vessels. All told, I'm sorry, not more. All told, they were 5,400. This accountant just gave up and said, look at it. Man, these kings, they stole so much from us. And we can't see that. We look at this like, oh, well, this is an astounding number of gold that we're going to get back in Israel. We're going to get this back. The Most High said this. We're going to get all this back. Let's find out. Let's go back here. I think Jeremiah talks about that. Let's see. I believe that's what it was. I think it was. It said, let's see. 21. Yeah. It is right here. Which, verse 27 and 20. Jeremiah. Which Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, took not. Let's go back. Go back to 19. 27, 19. Jeremiah. For thus saith the Lord of hosts concerning the pillars and concerning the sea, concerning the bases, concerning the residue of the vessels that remain in the city. Okay? Which Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, now he forgot, I don't know if he forgot or whatever, he took them not. When he carried away captive Jeconiah, son of Jeconiah, carried away these, Nebuchadnezzar, then took away all the people that was in there desecrating it before, and the Hamites that were in there trying to be princes and kings in Babylon and Jerusalem and nobles, you know. Yea, thus saith the Lord of hosts, verse 21, the God of Israel concerning the vessels that remain in the house of the Lord and in the house of the king of Judah and Jerusalem. They shall be carried to Babylon, and there shall be, and there, Salakia. Let's read it here again. Verse 22, 27, 22. They shall be carried to Babylon, and there shall they be until the day that I visit them, saith the Lord. Then I will bring them up and restore them to this place. That's what Jeremiah said. Listen, the Lord Most High is going to restore this. All the stuff that was taken, Jeremiah said, all the stuff that was taken out of here, the Most High is going to restore that. Let's give the Most High a hand. He's telling Jeremiah the prophet, let's read it again. He's telling Jeremiah the prophet, he said, look here, they shall be carried to Babylon. Yeah, they carried to Babylon. That's right. And there shall they be until the day that I visit them. Saith who? Saith the Lord. Saith the Most High. Okay? Then will I bring them up and restore them to this place. See, the Most High, he has a plan. All these vessels that he took, all the vessels that they took back, as the Most High is going to restore all this back to Israel. That's why I said, that's right, give him a hand. Give the Most High. That's what is this? Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham. Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai, the sisters. That's right, the Most High is going to restore this. Jeremiah 27, what did I say, 22, talks about that. See, these prophets, I'm pretty sure they looked back and sat there sort of confused. Man, they got a vessel to drink out of them. When they started eating that ham and started drinking their wine and started worshiping their gods and their orgies and stuff that they had there, we knew, Lord, what's going on here? Most High, what's going on here? But the Most High said, let's read it again. There they shall be carried to Babylon, and there shall they be until the day that I visit them, saith the Lord. The Lord's talking. And he says, then I will bring them up and restore them to this place. That means he's going to take all these vessels. They're probably, this is the count accounted for 5,400 of them. Man, I'm sure they're more than that. This is all that he could do. So, that's right, Adrian. Adrian, that's exactly right, sis. All the sisters and brothers in there, that should be something that you should be clapping about, that the Most High is going to restore. Because Ezra, Jeremiah, Daniel, and some more prophets in there, they witnessed this during their day, how they stole our goods. They stole our property. I'm saying to you, 5,400 of vessels in total. was taken from Israel. Now, somewhere probably stuck in the Vatican, somewhere probably stuck all around the world. Well, wherever they are, the Most High said this. I'll read it again. They said, they shall be carried to Babylon. That is correct, they were. And there they shall be until the day that I visit them, saith the Lord. Then will I bring them up and restore them to this place. You know, if that has already happened and or not, the Most High is going to restore them again for us. See, we will have much gold, much zahab, okay? We're going to have many kalas, okay? We're going to have much kasab, much silver. We're going to have much, many, okay? No longer will the stolen vessels, ganab, stolen, not brought, stolen, no longer will they be taken from us, from all the accounts, from the, I count billions, and I can't go no further. I count billions of dollars. Let's see, if I have written in the chat right here. Yeah, I count, yeah, okay, got it. I count billions of dollars that was taken from us. The number that I can't put my hand on, you know, it's a lot that was taken from Israel. Okay? And let's read this. And of course we would take it. Let's read Exodus 21 and 16 again. Let's not forget us. I mean, we're more valuable than the gold. Let's find out if these kings thought they were doing something. You know, Cyrus knew who the Most High was. He knew, saying that you worship their God because he is God. But yet he wanted to be his own person. You know, he got dealt with. Check this out. In Exodus 21, Exodus 21, 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. You know, got no business taking the children of Israel and selling them in slavery. Esau, King Cyrus, King Nebuchadnezzar, the Egyptian kings, Pharaoh. You ain't got no business taking us and putting us and tying our hands together and desecrating our temples. Well, you ain't got no business doing that. You know, I said I was going to look that word up. Let's see. Let's see what that definition is. The meaning here. To desecrate. To treat a sacred place or thing with violence or disrespect. And you can't be no more disrespect than what they did in Daniel 5 and 3, what they did on our ships. Well, sticking with the story of the stolen goods, of the material things here, other than our bodies, of course. They desecrated our temple in Daniel 5 and 3. He talks about it, how they took these things. It's like, okay. It's like this, sir. How they desecrated. Let's read that. They desecrated them, you know. They just took. And they drank out of it. They used the menorah. They probably melted some things down. There's no telling. But this is what the children of Israel has gone through. And these are the things that were taken from us. Okay? And I hope you guys had a Tawab class today, tonight. I hope you guys understood some LASHAWAN QADASAH. You know, the word Zahab. The word Kala is vessel. How to say five thousand, Kamash, Alapyam, Ma'ayam, Arabai, Ma'ayam, that's 405,000, Kamash, Alapyam. And of course you use Yam when you want to make it plural. That's what allows Alap to be plural. That's what makes it 5,000. And Ma'ah, which is 100. That's what makes you got 400. So you say Arabai, 4, Ma'ayam, which is 100. It's plural. And we try to teach a little bit of everything in LASHAWAN Kodash. So, you know, if you guys have some specific things that you want to talk about in class, you know, let me know. Type them in class. Whether it be in class, hit up my inbox, say, Kazak, officer, let's teach some of these things. But this is what I want to show you guys tonight, how things, here's the key word. Instead of saying brought, they brought them out like in other words, you know, we brought them out. Hey man, they ain't bringing nothing out. They stole. All they did, let's put it in proper perspective. They stole it. Because that's what Daniel say. That's what Jeremiah say. You know, and that's what Ezra say. They stole these things. You know, they didn't bring nothing out. Like it's theirs. Like, okay, we bring out. Those are spoils of war. They knocked us over the head, tied us up in chain fetters, and that's what Esau did. He took us, put us on those slave ships, need not to give Deuteronomy 28:68, and said, look, get on this ship. Okay? They stole us. They ganap. Took us. Okay? You might as well just say, they looked at us like we were gold and silver. Okay? Hope you enjoyed the class tonight. And we're going to read the announcements. Okay? Next week, we may go, we went over the number system a little bit here. We may go a little bit more just to show you how to read from 1 through 10, because we read 1,000, 100 here. And of course, we'll go into a little bit more of the ending connectors of things here. We may get into another understanding of the Most High and how to break down. You can see these astounding numbers, how to break down. How we'll pull some of the words out of the accounts and actions that happened to us. And that's what this is really doing here. So break down so you can learn words. Here's your word, Zahav for gold, like I said. And of course, that is Assyrian, the language of our captivity. Why? Because in Babylon, King Nebuchadnezzar, you know, that's what they used. They came up with these Assyrian numbers. And Assyria, the King Cyrus and the Persians, you know, they used this. And then by the time they got it down to the fake Hebrews, which we talked about a little earlier in class, they putting dots and symbols all over stuff to further confuse things. Israel, you pay attention to understanding what they did, but understanding the original tongue is LASHAWAN Kodash. Okay? So let's read it. Security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. The rule for the new brother and sister. When a brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. And after the 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and the sister will get permission to marry. I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's the whole idea of the ISUPK, to breed men, to breed women, good soldiers, good women, okay, and ISUPK, okay. You get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 and 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asharah. 10% of every penny increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Free will offer for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like upcoming holy convocations. I'm sorry, it's lucky. We have one coming up here. Of course, we have the Passover a little later on here, but we got one coming up called Purim. Where's that at here? Sabbath. Yeah, Purim. Yeah, Purim. Purim, the 14th day of the 15th day of the 12th month, Thursday, February 25th. That's in February. Friday, February 26th, 21st, Esther 9, 20, and 31. Of course, we have the Passover coming up. It will be the 14th day of the first month, Thursday, April 9th, 2020. Is that right? No, that's not right. It's look through your look online. Look for the new Passover day. I don't have it in front of me right now. But Purim is the next day coming up, and of course, you have the Passover coming up real soon. Make sure you hook up with the camp leader, or talk to me on the inbox, or talk to another officer in class, and we'll get you that Passover date. I'll be sure to have it, or you can check in one of the classes upcoming here real soon here. They'll give you the exact date of that. But LASHAWAN QADASAH class, where we say Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai to all the brothers, Yahweh Shemar Athah Hashem Yahweh Shai to all of my sisters. For that we say Shalom.